Hey there.
Yeah, Bill.
What's going on, Brian?
I was wondering if I could...
How are you, stud?
Well, I'm trying to stay for a while, but I was wondering if I could talk to you for a while.
Yeah, listen, what do you want, a beer or a scotch? Got a scotch here, or what do you want?
Well, what have you got?
Well, let's get up. We'll have a drink.
Billy Phillips is perhaps the most colourful of Bolton's extraordinary gallery of night people who could supply him with information. For some reason, the tattoo is still a badge for the underworld, and Phillips gets to hear more on the grapevine than most. Bolton came to the assistance of Phillips and his wife many years ago when they were down on their luck, and Bolton knows he's still owed a few favours. What could come out of a session with Billy Phillips is anybody's guess.
The story around the town is there's a big deal going down, you know, about a half a ton of hash.
Oh, turn it up, mate.
Do you know anything about that?
Turn it up, Brian. You know, we've been friends for years, you know. You know, I wouldn't know. I have nothing to do with any of this anymore, Brian. I'm just trying to live my life out as peacefully as I can. I don't want to know anything about this sort of drama.
Bill, you owe me a few favours.
I owe you a lot of favours, Brian, but I don't know nothing at all about this sort of thing, and I don't want to know enough about this. You know, like, Brian, I'll do you a favour, but this sort of thing's not my bag. I don't want to know about it.
What would happen to you, Bill, if you told me you were in cost?
Brian, I wouldn't tell you because I don't know. You know, I don't get involved in this. I don't want to know. You know, I can't look sideways. I can't go to pubs. I get barred from half the pubs around the town.
Well, Billy, next time you see me at the breakfast street, you can drink with me.
Oh, Brian, that's all right with me, too.
Anytime you like.
Well, let's get after it now. Here. One for the road.
Why don't we have...
Show a bit of class.
No,
Right
on for the road, fella. Why don't we have 20 for the road?
You got me. Let's
and
go.
I'll tell you what, pal, you can even touch up the old eagle.
That'll be all right?
Yeah.
Shit, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
What happened, Billy, when Brian first came to you?
I'd received a parcel bomb in the post, and it ruined my life.
What happened there?
Today, it just changed the whole effect of my life. We received 6 sticks of gelignite in a parcel, and my wife opened it on the bed while she was talking to me and blew us both up. We were pretty broke at the time. We didn't have any money, and Brian lent us some money, and I wanted to show my gratitude to him, and at the time I didn't have any money, and I didn't look like my money. I was told I'd never tattoo again, and I felt so indebted to Brian, I wanted to try. So I said, Brian, well, I'm going to try and do something for you. So I drew an eagle on his arm freehand, and I tattooed him. You know, it was a challenge to me, and I wanted to do an eagle because an eagle's a sign of royalty. It's strength and freedom, and it turned out quite well.
There are occasions where it's unfortunately necessary, if you're going to come back in one piece, to go on some assignments with some form of armament, gun in other words. I have a specific weapon. It's legal to carry it. I don't do it very frequently, maybe once or twice a year, but I will take it with me in the car where it's ready for instant use. This will only be on an occasion where I've got to meet a bloke who I know is extremely heavy, wanting to pass on information about some massive drug deal, and from my experience, there's been many, many murders committed out of drugs. You must go along, but you must also guard your rear. You're by yourself. A lot of these assignments are places like lonely car parks or lonely streets. You don't know what's around the corner. It's in your mind that the bloke who's rung you anonymously to tell you about something might in fact have a totally different motive. In other words, he might be luring you out to do you some pretty bloody bad damage.
After a long night, the Eagle has finally landed. If there was a drug heist out there in the valley, he didn't find out where it was, and there's not much to write about. But Brian Bolton can take cold comfort in the fact that even when he writes about the news before it happens, They don't believe him anyway.
You can go home and wish to Christ you were dead, or you could give up the job and go and dig roads for a living rather than plug out bloody stories. But you know, as soon as the next one breaks, you get that call, you're going to be there. It keeps the adrenaline pumping. But I think more important than that, you know every time you hear those presses roar, there's something in there that you've published, that you've written, that is going to be of great public benefit. Whatever the hell it might be, you know you've put in there your heart and your soul, your blood and your guts to get a decent paper, decent information, decent exposés to the ordinary bloke on the street so he knows what in the hell in the name of Christ is going on around him. G'day, Gabby.
How are you?
Had a bloody awful day. For Christ's sake, take me home, will you?
Okay, where's home?
Albion, mate. Crosby Road, Albion. Anything going on around the town, you know, last night or early this morning that you've heard about? Any muggings or, you know, rapes or anything in the way of drugs at all, things like that? You know, a man's got to keep earning a quid.
No, I haven't heard a thing, Brian. That sort of stuff we don't put over the air, unfortunately, but we don't hear about it.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're finally going to have to call it a night in that case. Let's head for home.
Albion, eh?
Yeah,
okay.
that's right, mate.